Hey fellow vinyl lovers, thank you for joining me. In this episode we have jazz from Ibiza, the UK and Japan, improvised psychedelic jazz rock from Russia, psychedelic rock from Japan, stoner space rock from Russia and instrumental hip hop from Germany, with extensive needle drops to each record, so stay tuned. Muriel Grossman, The Golden Rule, released over ORR Gems in November this year. This was one of my quickest orders this year. Between receiving the news of the release, listening to one song on YouTube and instantly pre-ordering this, not even 5 minutes had passed. I was like, which could easily be my life motto. This beautiful spiritual jazz album is led by Muriel Grossman, a soprano and tenor saxophonist who is joined here by the Serbian guitarist Radomir Milokovic, the Austrian bassist Gina Schwarz, and the Serbian drummer Uroš Stamenkovic. Muriel was born in Paris and spent her childhood in Austria, studying with the German jazz pianist Joachim Kühn, and is currently living in Ibiza, where this record also was recorded. This is just deeply spiritual. It could have easily been recorded in the 70s and heavily reminds me of the works of Pharoah Sanders and John Coltrane. The top-notch quality of the packaging also lives up to the music with the really sturdy cardboard, 180-gram pressing, and the sound quality is just superb. So even if you only care a tiny bit about spiritual jazz, I think this would be an essential to your collection, and it's easily one of my favorite albums this year, and it's highly recommended. Kikagaku Moyo Masana Temples, released on Guru Guru Brain also this year. In the second video on my channel here, and by the way, I hope I'm not the only one who is constantly cringing watching old videos of themselves. I can't be the only one. I was gushing about the House on the Tall Grass release by this band, and I'm still a big fan of this Japanese psych band, and I try to get all their releases, which is not that easy since some of them, the older ones, have become a bit pricey nowadays. I'm looking at you, Mamachus Clouds.
Hello darkness, my old friend.
So I was very happy to hear that they released another album this year. So even if you're not familiar with this band, just look at the cover. Which is absolutely adorable, I think. And if this still does not convince you, here's what the hype sticker says. Brain-rolling, dreamy psychedelia from Japan. Good for chilling, barbecuing, biking and space traveling. I usually don't give a shit about what hype sticker says, but how could you resist that? This has all the ingredients I love about Kikagaku Moyo. Plenty of sitar, some more poppy melodies with Japanese singing, and of course I don't have any idea what they're singing about. They could sing about washing machines or cooking devices, but I don't care, it sounds great. A lot of fuzz and some relaxed hazy moments. So yeah, I'm a big fan of this band, I'm a big fan of this album, and this is how it sounds like. So let's stay in Japan for a moment. Toru Aizawa Quartet Tachibana. Originally released in 1975, re-released by BBE Records this year. Even though this record has been recorded in 1975, this album only came accessible through the new release via BBE Records. In 1975, a Japanese businessman named Tachibana, who owned a concert hall, was a big jazz fan, and the local gigs of a young quartet gained his attention. So he had the really unusual idea to give out a record as a business card, and so he hired the quartet, which consisted of 4 university students who were all studying very diverse subjects like music, medicine and law. And so they were kind of amateur musicians, and this was the only album they ever recorded. There were just a few hundred copies pressed of this, and the idea of giving out a business card record did not catch on really well, so this record was thrust into obscurity. And the originals fetched quite decent prices. But this record beautifully merges spiritual and free jazz with Latin vibes. We have a cover of Chicoria on here, La Fiesta, and Samba de Orfeu Bossa Nova Turtle, which is a really interesting mix, I think, and I'm really happy that this is available now. I will link an interview below so you can read the full story, because I think it's really interesting and includes some needle drops. The Restoned, Stories of the Astral Lizard. This was released over Oak Island also this year. This was a late night YouTube discovery, you know, when you listen to one album and afterwards another album automatically starts to play. I love YouTube for this feature because I was instantly hooked by the first song, Fractal Panorama. The Russian stoner psych band was founded in 2008 and I think they have quite a catalog behind them already. I think this is their 11th release and the latest one. And this is floating, hazy, instrumental, stoner space psychedelic rock. From what I've heard of the previous releases, this is not as hard stoner rocks as they used to play, but it's more reminiscent of krautrock, I would say. Regarding the vibe, at some places this even reminded me of Ashra Tempel's Schwingung, so yeah, it's highly recommended and this is what it sounds like. Ecke Prenz, Nachts im Thälmann Park, released over HAV or HAV Records also this year. And Ecke Prenz is consisting of the DJs and producers Q and Favorita, and this record is not your typical instrumental hip-hop album. This has way more flavors to it, be it ambient or electronic, smooth dreamy beats, upbeat, down-tempo, you name it. So these are the two guys. And it's a really interesting mix, and in combination with the really dope artwork, the creative variety on here makes me really happy, and this is easily one of my favorite instrumental albums this year. another Russian release. This is getting quite international today. Slovo Mira, Black Fjord and the End of the World, released over Tohru. Also this year, even this month in December. Clear vinyl. This is how the guys look like. And yeah, this is another Tonzone release. They have quite an immense output throughout this year. It's hard to keep an overview and hard to decide which one to get. But this record stood out for me by the description. Russian experimental musicians, their second album, portraying an astral journey with elements of jazz, free improvisation and psychedelic. It's totally improvised live, no overdubs, and as instruments they were listed amongst others Glockenspiel, Balalaika and theremin. I love theremin. So I was like, okay, I'm in. What I love about this is that the artwork here seems to be a seamless continuation of their self-titled debut album, which looked like this. It states that this is the astral journey of the main character, and I would love to read this because I figured it would be a compelling, intense and powerful read, because this is exactly what this record is about. I love the improvisational parts, I love the use of instruments here and the heavy psych rock stuff on here. It's just gets together really well and you feel that they really know what they're doing. And yeah, highly recommend it if you like psychedelic, avant-garde, improvised space stuff. And Ned Birchall, Cosmic Language, released over Jasmine Records also this year. You can never go wrong with a Jasmine release, and I have slept on the UK-based saxophonist Ned Birchall for way too long. So the first time I was listening to this digitally, I was just blown away. This is another release on this list. It's his 8th studio album, which totally embodies spiritual and cosmic jazz. Ned Birchall is joined here by Adam Fairhall on harmonium, Michael Barden on bass and Andy Hay on drums and percussion. And Ned Birchall is playing tenor sax and percussion. And I especially like the harmonium here, which brings an Indian influence to it, which I absolutely adore. And even the cover art reminds me of this great cosmic spiritual jazz stuff released in the 70s, so it's really fitting. And I'm absolutely delighted that there are so many amazing artists keeping the spirit alive, and it's totally enjoyable. So yeah, another no-brainer if you like jazz and especially spiritual jazz. Ned Birchall, Cosmic Language, which sounds like this. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the selection here. Leave me something in the comments and see you soon. Bye!